Come a long way. His play is a lot more solid these days. He's got that upwards golden arrow. I'm sure you guys heard the girl screaming behind me as he came on camera as well.
Yes. Now, if I'm the guy making the arrow right now, I'm a little bit scared that they might try to kill me over not putting the totally north arrow. But his record is 5-5 versus Protoss. He definitely had a weak matchup against Protoss. He was not like TY. He was not like Byung. Not a Protoss killer early on. But PartinG is 3-0 versus Terran. He does come off of a 2-loss streak. He did not travel to MLG, which gives him a little bit of extra prep time. But knowing PartinG a bit, he wishes he could have been there. And I'm sure he was watching and studying those games a little bit as well. But 9-5 overall.
And 3-0 against Terran.
It's hard to say he's in a slump, but even 2 losses is kind of like unusual. It's a little bit irregular for PartinG.
Yeah, I agree. And we just haven't seen him that much lately. Like, I feel like this season we haven't seen him as much as we have in previous seasons. And maybe that's saying something about his condition.
Yeah. Absolutely a possibility, Moonblade. Let's jump into Flash versus PartinG for game number 1 here for our Telecom Wars.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Down here in the bottom right in the red for KT Rolster, the Terran player, it's Flash.
That's God by his fans and followers. Up to the top left, his opponent, PartinG, the Soul Train Protoss, made a career for himself off of Immortal All-Ins alone, but now transitioned quite a bit. He can play all sorts of macro games in all matchups. A very aggressive, very sure of himself, very strong Protoss here. And we are starting things off on Outboxer. The third base, often the crux of this for the Protoss player. It's oftentimes a place that Terran will attack by ground.
Yep. Terran can definitely do a lot of timings on that third base. Very open, very vulnerable to the kind of pushes we've seen, especially from Byung with Widow Mines, I remember specifically on this map.
Yeah, exactly. You look at a player like Maru, he's so good at splitting his Marauders and making that work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Flash seems to be a little more drop-oriented. Not a bad map for dropping here. You could bounce between the third base and the main really easily.
There is a lot of airspace for drops, absolutely, on this map. And the islands, too. And, yeah, I mean, the fourth base on these maps are kind of difficult to hold, especially. As we've seen time and time again, drops are very, very strong against them. And the fact that you can kill the rocks there also makes it quite difficult.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. Looks like so far we're going to see standard expands for these two. Double gas variation here for PartinG. And Flash is going to do a Reaper expand. And we'll be able to go in there and harass. Flash is one of the only players who will oftentimes like reactor first before his Reapers. I don't think they've geared up to do that this time. But we've seen him sometimes reactor and then go into double Reaper like that. Or even sometimes make 3 Reapers. I think he'll probably stick with a more standard 2 in this game.
Yeah, it looks like from what the build we've seen so far, kind of a standard build. Safe build. Gives you a lot of scouting early with the Reaper. And lets you transition into an expansion rather quickly.
Flash, pretty known for doing the same build over and over and over again, especially in the beginning. Same just kind of set up right at the start. Just likes to be, pretty standard. Loves to get his scouting information. Loves to get those Reapers out. So he's going to do this build very, very often. We see him do it here once again. Got the SCV in the base as well. Cybernetics core finishing up, and the CC's going to go down.
Straight up standard play here. Reactor pops down as well, sticking with the 1 Reaper. Denying this Nexus as long as possible right now with the SCV, forcing a second probe to come down. And he even commits to the eBay block. Big chunk of minerals built in less than a second.
Yeah.
The probes even pull back here.
So we're seeing an early Mothership core. And Zealot cancels it. And yeah, like, no Nexus so far. Still kind of banking for it. And this Reaper's actually going to cause a lot of problems until the Mothership core comes out.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think he should lose the Zealot, but a lot of hit points.
He could. And he's doing a lot of damage. We haven't seen the hit points. But,
I think it went down to like 40 maybe, like in the yellow.
Well, back at home, he's got a real engineering bay here. Probably going to be for fast +1.
Yeah, we've been seeing the fast +1 a lot more recently.
Yeah, and also the TVZ matchup. Marine King throwing that out there.
Oh yeah, we're seeing it a lot in every matchup pretty much. It's kind of a new style that I like a lot. Very fast +1.
That Zealot is waiting here.
Yeah.
Great position on that Zealot. And the Stalker nearly able to finish him.
Denying any sort of scouting at all. And we see a robotics facility go down.
Immortal all in PVT.
Oh,
Kappa.
one can only wish.
Well, our wish may come true. We'll wait and see. Could just be for a Warp Prism drop, or perhaps even just a safe expand with the third base, but before that, maybe one Forge. He's very diligent about denying the scout on this, though. I think he wants to lead Flash. I believe he's going down like an Oracle path or something else.
Well, like, just denying anything, like, it'll make him wonder until he gets, like, a solid scout, or even a scan off. Like, it could be DT, it could be Oracle, it could be nothing. It could be a Blink Stalker all in.
The placement of the robotics is not a place where Flash will likely scan, and it's very difficult to access by Reaper.
Yeah.
So, really good placement. All right, it's the moment of truth.
What are we going to see?
They're hiding the production tab intentionally. All right, there it's back. An Observer. So it will be standard.
Kind of like, yeah, just safety kind of style.
You want Immortal pushes on this map, you know, but not today.
No, not today. And, I mean, this is a big match. A lot of risk. Can be the wrong choice here. Don't know where I was going with that.
I was just letting you go and see where it was going.
You
I
need
was
to save me,
curious.
guys. I'm like, yeah.
When Moonglade like crashes and burns, we just kind of look at him.
You
and
guys
we're
just
like,
watch.
anyways,
You're just enjoying it. I see how it is.
Well, quick Robo Bay here coming up just after one Observer. Let's see if he makes another one. Just one for now. Going to send that right to the base of the turn, see what he's up to.
Notably has cut probe production, but on this map, it's really common to do that when you take your third base. Oh, actually, I take it back. He is still making probes. But it is common on this map to cut probe production at around 41 or so, because it's enough probes to saturate two bases pretty decently and still produce units to where you have enough units to hold your third base and you take that safely.
Yeah.
So let's keep an eye on that. Looks like he's going up to 42 at least, and even queues up a 43rd. A few extra gates coming down. He's just being very cautious, not even risking like Forge upgrades.
Yeah.
Seeing Flash, he's making that safety missile turret at the front just in case of DTs. He's sending that Marine out to possible proxy locations, maybe Oracle locations. But really, just at the base of PartinG, he's being pretty safe. He's trying to get some gates up. He has an Observer out, and he's making Colossi sitting back on two base. So.
Notably, chrono boosting both the Colossi and the range.
Very fast Colossi here. No upgrade so far either. So, I wonder if we're going to see a timing from this, or are we just going to see a simple third base?
He's still making probes.
I think he's just going to take a third base with it, but it's very upgrade light, and Flash is about to be at 1-1.
He's kind of hiding these Colossus. I really like how much he's hiding this tech here.
Gate number 1, 2.
Yeah, we could very well see an all in here.
Oh, it's entirely possible, man.
Colossus timing. It's been a while.
Let's see how many gates he adds. He's still making probes, mind you. He's hiding all of his sentries. Like, maybe 48 probes is pretty much all you could ever want on two base. Now even going up to 50. If he's going to do, maybe he just wants to do a timing attack with his Colossi, then transition into a third base with all the probes he has. That's also
what I was thinking. Well, we see Flash putting down his SCV down here at the third base. It looks like he wants to take his third base. This Colossi is doing a dance.
Moves like Jagger.
Oh, baby.
Whoa.
That's a popular Colossi at the club.
That's impressive.
Colossus, new king of pop.
Imagine it was just a mistake and like he's actually trying to get past the gateways there. Just couldn't.
Imagine that.
Imagine that, guys. Could have happened. Could be it.
I think he's just dancing. All right, 1-1 upgrade's now complete for Flash, but he still can't take on this much firepower, especially now that the second Colossus arrives. That probe is coming unwillingly with the army here. We'll actually stick with him.
Yeah, we're going to see some pressure at the very least.
So, yeah, just pressure coming out here with the two Colossi at their base, getting up here finally.
And no Vikings on the map either. Oh, nice spread here. Looking for something.
And he doesn't have a lot of Zealots here. The split is amazing, but still Flash a bit weary about committing here. He's got to be so scared. He doesn't know if it's an all-in or not. He doesn't have any more scouts at that third base. He doesn't know exactly the probe count. And he's going full bunker. This is like a variation of the Blink Feign where you take a third, but it's with Colossi, where you just force the Terran to sit back, bunker up, play defensively, and then you take a third. Oh,
Taking a lot of
God,
damage
so much
here.
damage.
Wow.
And he's not all in with this. He's not really overcommitted to this.
No, not at all.
And he's going to actually maybe snipe the third. Barely finishes. He absolutely needed that to happen. And here we go. Fortunates here are incredible. Few SCVs coming over here, and Flash does not want to take this fight. He cannot target the Colossi. There's no Zealots for support anymore, but I think this is a bad engagement to be fighting right now.
Colossus doing so much damage. There's 2 Vikings in the air. Follow up with 5 more Stalkers on the way here with all those gates. Got a probe here as well, making some forward pylons. And he salvaged the bunkers. He's got barely any units here anyway.
This is probably game. Flash fans very sad right now.
So much damage, and I mean, really, it all came down to hiding this Colossus tech till he was ready to push. No Vikings on the map whatsoever.
Yeah. And Flash also just, taking an engagement that I think he was too confident in taking. I think if he just waited, his command center still lived, and probably still would have lived regardless of engaging that or not, but it's just too much firepower here. He's going to eventually wear this down.
Gets the Colossus.
Yeah, that's a small victory here. He's just got so many medevacs, more medevacs than he can use.
Blink is finished now. More Stalkers on the way. That one Colossus stays alive. He blinks forward. And Medevac's flying in the air, doing nothing.
Flash given the face of defeat. And it looks like SKT is going to start the lead here. Doubling Flash's supply. Can start to pick off units on the ramp. He's got it controlled. More and more Blink Stalkers to warp in here. 1-1 upgrades almost done at home, and he's got 3 bases saturated. Things couldn't be worse for Flash right now. Couldn't be better for Parting.
The Colossus now ranking up, getting almost 20 kills here. The Stalkers fighting as well. Blinks forward again.
And that's the last
GG.
That's the last of this game. Flash eliminated. Oh!
Little something, something.
That's what I like.
SK Telecom #1 says Parting. And the fans are chanting right now for Parting.
And I have to stress that you and I and Moonglade are the furthest away from the SKT fans right now. They're on the right side. The KT fans are next to, so you guys can hear that chant. Yeah. It's actually very far away. That's how loud it is.
Probably lucky we're not over that side, I think.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be out of cast.
Well, if Flash was behind us, man, I don't know if we would be able to live through that one. They might have actually died.
Yeah. But, really brilliant play from PartinG. I really liked what he did. He's really intelligent, hiding that tech. I mean, kind of the problem with Flash is that couldn't scout it. He didn't want to commit to a scan early on. He didn't want to find out exactly what it was going to be. And when he found out, it was too late. He was already coming towards his base.
Yeah. And he tried to land, or he tried to make that command center on the low ground too. That really hurt, because if they were on the high ground, he wouldn't have had to take that engagement. Could have hid behind his bunkers. Yeah. They've had the extra mules.
Maybe he gets 4 Vikings out before the fight starts, and
makes a big difference.
And he had the 1-1 upgrades. That was huge. If he just had a little bit more time to get a few more units out, to get those Vikings out. And
time a resource just like minerals and gas.
Very well said.
Well said. Amen.
Amen indeed. Well, SPL Monday already off to a great start here. And let's take a look at the map for game number 2. I want to take a closer look at that. It's Habitation Station. So a terrainless matchup here on this one.
Parting getting his picture taken.
Yeah.
It's a long picture.
Yeah.
It's like that friend who pretends he's taking a picture, but actually he's taking a video, and you're like, ah. Parting's like, oh.
Standing there for like 5 minutes. But I mean, the next match is going to be equally as amazing, I feel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is going to be a good one for
Zest versus Solkey.
Oh, my goodness. It's only going to get better from here.
It only gets better from here, man. It just gets more and more tense as well as each point gets put on the scoreboard. Now, Zest, known as the Kingslayer for all killing this very team in Season 2, or rather